It was a Saturday morning, and Mama and Papa, as they always were, sitting down having breakfast. But Papa would get up and come and see and check on me, and VC, he would say, "It's time for you to hurry up and get yourself together." And I knew exactly what that meant. It was time for dance class. Corine Morse Williams Dance School, located at 2345 Grant Street, right here in the great city of Gary, Indiana. And today, it is Dance Excel, owned by my dear friend and classmate, Dr. Dion Champion, and artistic director, Denzel Smith. But see, in 1979, it became my home away from home. I was on my toes all the time at 2 years old. And my family declared, "Oh my gosh, she must be a dancer." So they enrolled me at Corine's. I had a cousin that was already there, and the spot became available. And so the rest was history. By the time I was 11 years old, Corine was picking student teachers to become, like assistants to assist her. It was my first taste at leadership. You see, the arts isn't just about your talent. It creates space for creativity, discipline, and dreams. Now let's visualize. Making space for possibility. How the arts can revitalize and shape Gary's future. Walking through the halls, I learned the power of space dedicated to creativity. And Gary once had many, many spaces like this, but many of them closed, leaving a pause in possibility. That's why I have dreamed and envisioned creating a performing arts school again. Yes, a rebirth of what Emerson once represented. See, this performing arts school isn't just about talent, but it will teach and cultivate leadership, discipline, and self-expression. It is a known fact that performing arts schools create cultural anchors. They attract businesses, retain talent, and again, cultivate leadership. See, investing in this art school isn't just about arts education. It's a path to community revitalization. Throughout my leadership and throughout the things that I've done, my life, my experience, my family's legacy, and all of my professional training that I gained right here in Gary, it will be a place that will create opportunity, and expectation will meet possibility. They can collide. A new Emerson for a new generation. I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Give them a sense of pride to make it easier. Let the children's laughter remind us how we used to be. See, at 11 years old, my family discovered that I could sing. Nobody in my family sang, and so they didn't think anything of it. But they decided to take me to see Corine, who also happened to be a piano teacher. And she said, yes, Altovise has a voice, and suggested that I audition for Emerson School, the Visual and Performing Arts, located on the east side of Gary, 716 East 7th Avenue, in this great city. It was a place where dreams became alive, a place that felt like fame every day for us. But I also remember that Emerson happened to be one of the oldest schools in Gary, and it wasn't always a performing arts school. It became one in 1984, with its first graduating class in 1988. But I also remember that in that space, we had to perform each year just to keep our accreditation. Our school's very existence depended on our excellence. But that pressure built resilience, discipline, and a sense of purpose. Now, I never wanted to be a model, okay? I had a family member that suggested that I get into modeling, but I dealt with such low self-esteem. And a family member suggested that I should go to modeling school. So as destiny would have it, an opportunity became available for me to attend John Robert Powell's modeling school in Chicago. I was bused there for 6 months from this area to Chicago, downtown, to the Palmer House Hilton Hotel. Well, I learned everything from runway, etiquette, stage presence, you name it. And eventually I went on to attend the International Modeling and Talent Association in New York, where I would place 4th for Talent of the Year in my division. I also was enrolled at Columbia College at the time, but a family felt like that musical theater wasn't a good paying career. See, I dreamed of becoming Dr. Altovise, the professor of the arts. But I took a pause from school because they didn't agree with it, so I dropped out. So cosmetology school became my plan B, but it also allowed me to still flow in my creative space. I also became a member of the West Side Theater Guild during that time, owning my craft and gaining more professional training right here in the great city of Gary, Indiana, in this space. Now, let's take a journey to talk about pain of lost space. When I was 9 years old, I was adopted by my maternal grandparents, as you saw on the first slide. And I dealt with a lot of rejection because I wanted my mommy and my daddy. And at 14, I would meet my father for the first time, but not the way I imagined it. I met him in his casket. First and last time ever meeting him and seeing him. And I had met all his family previously, and they acknowledged me and welcomed me, but he never did, and that crushed me. But somehow I always found, just a space of peace in my art, in my creativity. So let's fast forward. At 21 years old, I became a first-time mom, giving birth to my daughter. And at 25, I got married to her father. And at 26, I would have our son. And it was during this time crisis would visit our family. I was still performing with the West Side Theater Guild, and things were going on in my body, but I was being misdiagnosed. And I began to walk and fall and become paralyzed from the waist down. I had a horrible fall in the shower and was rushed to the hospital for doctors to discover a massive tumor on my spine. And if it was not removed, I would never, ever walk again. And during rehabilitation, they discovered that it was non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, a blood cancer. They found it in the spine and 3 to 5% in the bone marrow and a small nodule in my chest. I took chemotherapy for 6.5 months while learning to walk again. But during my rehabilitation process, I still found my faith in God, my strength, and solace in my creativity. I would sit in a wheelchair and sing to other patients while giving them hope while building my own. This is my family. In 2004, a year later, we would face another tragedy. Our income had became one because of my illness, and we were eligible for a Habitat for Humanity home. My husband would help build the home because I couldn't. I was dealing with cancer still at the time. But this home burned down due to a hate crime, racism, September 11, 2004. And that same day, God had blessed me through my healing process to get back to what I loved. And I had a dance school that was opening up at the church I was attending at the time. And I had about 20 or 30 children waiting for me. And what was I going to do? Continue to cry over this or go? And I decided to go because God is my faith and my anchor. And what I learned early on in the arts, the show must go on. As I want to tell you about my family's legacy, I taught my children about faith, resilience, hard work, and determination. All of us gained this. This is my legacy. All of our professional training happened right here in this great city of Gary, Indiana. My children, my daughter, who played Brittany on The Shy with her brother Ahmad, who played Bakari, you see on The Shy, my legacy, They got trained here academically, athletically, and creatively in their artistic ability. My daughter went on to graduate from college is a full-time creative. My son had been a working actor since he was 13 and is still a full-time working actor right here, still in this area. And so what I want to tell you is, and this is me as well, we gained all of our professional training right here in this great city, and it can be done with all of us. I was blessed to receive an honorary doctorate this year. As I stated earlier, I wanted to be Professor Altovise. And God blessed me with all of these things, but I gained everything, and I keep reiterating, Gary, Indiana. And that is why we need a performing arts place, not just about talent, but be creating opportunity and expectation and possibility. A place where we can nurture talent, develop it, train it, and make sure that the talent stays here. It also benefits our economy, the community as well, and revitalize our great city. A rebirth of Emerson. Together we can make that happen. Where talent, young artists can stay, grow here, give back, and make our community grow. A new Emerson for a new generation. The city of Gary is already great, but with this rebirth of a performing arts school to change and revitalize our community, it can happen with all of us, and Gary can become even greater. Thank you.